Welcome to another episode of On the Go Movie Reviews, where we talk about films on the drive home from the cinema. Today we went to see Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. That's a really long one. If you haven't seen the trailer, here it is.
Some people believe if we repeat stories often enough, they become real. They make us who we are. That can be scary.
Eat it, Harold.
Do you want to see a haunted house?
Some kids went missing, so they boarded it up.
Okay, we saw it. Should we go now?
Who ordered the chicken?
What's that?
It's a book of scary stories. Tell me a story. Hey, what's going on?
Tommy's missing.
Tommy's name was in the book. There's no way it's actually connected, right? Okay, what if what happens in the book is exactly what's happened for real? Oh my god. Andy!
Stella!
Listen, you're in the next story. We're reading it right here.
It's a corpse looking for her missing toe.
I'm afraid that we woke something up.
You shouldn't have taken the book.
We've got to stop it.
Sarah Bellows' book, where the stories write themselves and it all comes alive.
The Jangling Man is coming.
So, Amy, what did you think of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark?
I have mixed feelings, I think. I don't really know if I enjoyed it.
Oh, really?
It's kind of weird. I was kind of watching it and I was just like, I think because it was obviously like, taking cliches from other films. I feel like it was very like, oh, and then this is going to happen, and then this is going to happen, and that's what I was thinking in my head.
Like, predictable.
Yeah, it was very predictable, and I was kind of a bit just like, oh, okay, this is long. Like, there were multiple times I was like, this is getting really long now, when are we nearly done? But I did enjoy moments. So I did enjoy it. Sometimes.
See, I really dug it. I had a really good time.
No, I don't know why I have... Because I really enjoyed the beginning, and I really enjoyed most of the end. And I really enjoyed parts of it, but they were I think it was just a bit too long for me.
Do you want me to tell you what the critical consensus is?
Yeah, go on
Really good set pieces.
then.
In between.
A bit meandery.
In between lulls.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what yeah.
Which I didn't necessarily find.
No, I did.
I was very much engaged the entire time.
I was not. Yeah, that's exactly the way actually I would put it. Yeah, very engaging set pieces, very nice set pieces. The direction, the camera was really nice, and like some of the really creepy monstery things, very cool and like tense most of the time. But yeah, lots of lulls, so I don't really know. Non-spoiler, we should probably go for first.
Okay, no spoilers. Let's talk about the director, Andre Ovredal.
Who also did
Troll Hunter.
Oh, that was a good movie. Yeah, considering the director the writers, I wanted more from this, and I thought it would be better than this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, so obviously you've got, who was the main writer? Oh, I can't say his name.
Guillermo del Toro wrote
Yep.
the story.
Wrote the story, and then,
Patrick Melton
and
and
Marcus
Marcus Dunstan
Dunstan.
then worked on it, and then there were 2 other writers as well.
right, okay, maybe that's why. Because I feel like, obviously, they're amazing writers.
Mm-hmm.
They have done things such as...
Saws 4 to 7, Piranha
do the
3, Double D. They did the Collector. They did the Collection. They did the Neighbor.
all of which are fantastic movies.
I love each and every one of them.
I do, me too, yeah.
They also did the Feast trilogy, but I don't really like those.
I don't remember what that is. But, yeah, so I kind of wanted more, and I feel like they probably did the writing surrounding each of the kind of horror elements, and then the other people, I'm guessing because of the way that I feel about it, the in-betweeny bits, I imagine, were done by somebody else.
Because it seems to be very much like intense, like sometimes it's like nightmarish, like this intense nightmarish, almost like gothic at times, inspired
It's very horror tropey.
And then the rest of the time it's this weird kind of somewhat mystery. It reminded me a lot of Goosebumps.
Yeah, that I was, things like Goosebumps, the first It, the new It one.
Chapter 1.
Sorry, It Chapter 1, which they didn't call it that because they thought they were going to only do one at the time.
Well, you never know. Don't put your eggs in one basket.
Well, they did. And,
Chickens.
like, oh yeah, there were chickens.
Yeah, it's one of your notes. One of your
Oh,
notes.
it's chickens! Yeah, I like a bunch of kids running around. Oh, I think I put down somewhere in my notes Final Destination. That's it was kind of one of those, oh look, I think that's another reason why I kind of felt it was a bit like, because it was like, oh, we're watching a kind of like rewrite of Final Destination, or the, what was the one with the gift, the gift, something to do with the...
Wish Upon,
where she's got the box. It kind of felt like one of those where it's like, oh, there's a series of people and they're gonna die in a certain order, and then at some point they're gonna find out something and they're gonna stop it happening, and that's the story. That is basically what it is. And I guess I found that very like, I'm not very invested in those types of storylines.
I didn't really piece this together before, but now that you've pointed it out, it's basically a slasher.
It is, yeah.
Where it's just that the main slasher being Sarah Bellows, and she's using everyone's fears against them.
She's just using
and it's
a
up
book.
to our good old final girl.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's literally right at the beginning. I was like, oh, final girl.
Who I will say, I liked her. I liked her a lot.
I did, yeah. I thought she was a good actress.
Very good actress.
I like the bit at the end. Don't worry, it's not a spoiler. She puts her glasses on and they're really dirty and cracked, and I was like,
you can't see anything.
You're probably better off not wearing your glasses.
Well, it takes us like one fingerprint on your glasses,
and you're like,
oh, that's really irritating.
Yeah. You would just literally be looking at mud, going, can't see.
Well, this is unpleasant. It's like there's constantly something in my face.
But yeah, that's just kind of my opinion. I mean, I want to talk about each of the horror elements. So I guess we should put the spoiler.
All right, very quickly. What's like a little mini spoiler-free summary? For my spoiler-free summary, I would say that I feel like it's really good. I find that it is spooky, but it's not scary.
Okay.
I thought that the acting was great. I didn't have a problem with the pacing, but everyone else seemingly does. But I feel like it's super stylish, and visually it's a fantastic blend of either being disgusting or beautiful. And yeah, so that's my spoiler-free summary.
Okay, so spoilers. I suppose we should start with the first.
I was going to say, all right, let's start talking about these really cool set pieces, which are the
Yeah.
highlights of the movie.
I mean, let's skip. I think if we skip over the kind of inciting incident, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, the final book, Reese's evil, whatever. Let's talk about Harold.
Harold, the creepy scarecrow. Why would you have that in your field in the first place?
What's he made out of?
I was literally thinking that as
'Cause
well.
It already looks like
it already
human
looks
skin.
like a human, like face. Like somebody just took human skin and made it into.
You know what it reminded me of?
What?
In Child's Play, where they wind up with the head.
Oh yeah,
The little kids,
yeah,
and
because he's on the
yeah.
and the,
And
yeah.
that's how the
yeah,
head
yeah, they put it on a
looked.
watermelon.
Yeah, and then oh sorry, yeah, it's the face. They
Yeah,
put the face on
the
a
skin
watermelon,
on a
and
watermelon.
then they wrap it, and hijinks ensue.
Yeah, that's kind of yeah. I was already like, this is creepy. Why would you have it for a start?
I mean,
What
as
is-
a poster image, it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is, and it is a cool like horror theme, I suppose. I thought it was really nice, the set piece where he's going through the corn and he's drunk and he comes across the scarecrow again
Yeah.
and he's kind of like, did
Oh.
I did I go past this already? And you can see the guy, like, you know, who's playing the character. He's like,
Trying to piece it together.
whatever. I'll just keep going. Maybe I just went round. And I almost liked it when you didn't see him move, like kind of Jason style.
Yeah, like very slowly, like pans in on him, but he doesn't move a muscle.
Yeah, and like he just appears
Yeah.
and doesn't move. But then very quickly that turned into the kind of like it did it twice, and then he just wasn't on his like little stick.
Yeah.
And then when he started moving, I thought it was a bit comedic.
Because he's got this very janky run.
Yeah, but I think that kind of
and
added
he's very,
to
very
it.
slow moving.
Yeah, again the like Jason-y thing.
This movie loves like the slow pursuit.
Yeah, I literally the same again later on, which we'll talk about in a minute. I was like, we're doing the Jason thing again. Okay.
There was a movie actually a few years ago called It Follows,
Mm.
which was this idea of this like unstoppable monster that slowly walks after you,
Oh,
and no matter where you go, it will follow you.
terrifying.
You have to have sex with people, just yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, and you can't quite like see it or something like that. It's just there, or something like that, or it's
whenever-
in someone or something like that.
It always looks like a normal person
Oh,
walking towards
yeah,
you, but
okay. But you
doesn't-
don't know.
but you don't know who it is, and it always looks like a different person.
Yeah, I remember you telling me. Yeah. So I thought that was quite, quite cool. It was quite creepy.
I love the transformation into the scarecrow.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say
I
that.
like when the straw's coming out of the mouth. I was like, this is great. Then when it's like coming out of like his eyes and his ears and stuff, I was like, oh my god, this is grotesque.
And he's
I
like
love it.
ripping at his stomach where he's been stabbed.
Yeah, he's like desperately trying to like get the
And there's
straw
like
out.
straw just coming out.
hands.
I don't know if I wrote anything more about that scene, but yeah, I did really enjoy that. And I was like, oh, I thought he was just gonna get stabbed and then die, and then he doesn't, and he starts turning into the scarecrow, and I was like, cool.
Liked the scarecrow, very Jason. Like the scarecrow scene, very Jason. Too many jumps.
Oh, too many jumps. Was
Police chief asshole.
When? Please, oh, is that what I wrote?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
I've
an
seen
asshole.
two separate bits.
Yes, they are. Seriously, you need to read it as separate sentences. Yes, I also thought though that there were too many jump scares in this film.
Oh, okay.
It was just constant, like, oh, we're waiting for it. Maybe that again is why I was a bit like, So, oh look, we're waiting for another jump scare because it's gone silent, and then oh, there it is.
Because as previously established, you like your horror like a Midsommar.
Yeah, what's the point in having jump scares because it just becomes obvious.
That very slow sense.
And you're just waiting for it. But anyway, on to the next one.
What was the next one?
I don't
Do you remember?
I don't remember. Oh, the big toe. Oh, that was gross.
Where's my toe or whatever the book it was called? That was
Where's
the one
my
that I
big
liked.
toe?
That was the one that I liked the least
Yeah, same.
because I was like,
And I didn't want
what?
August to die. I actually really liked his character.
I liked it.
And he dies really, really early on. Or he disappears early on.
Yeah, I don't know why at the end they're like, oh, we're gonna go find them. And I'm like, no, they're dead.
Well, I was kind of just like, I figured they would just reappear, or that you could write it in the book, like, oh, and then they reappeared and were absolutely fine.
Like in the
And
episode
it
of
would
Futurama
just-
where like the brains attack and then Fry has to write it in the book and he has to write the ending to the story in the book and then the brains are like, but he writes it in his like stupid English. So at the end the brains were like, and now I leave Earth for no reason.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite episodes.
Anyway.
Because he doesn't have the Delta brainwave.
No,
So
yeah.
they
I
can't
don't-
like
yeah.
absorb his brain
Yeah.
power because he's an idiot. That was a tangent. Back to the movie.
That's a tangent.
It's a zombie without
Other
a
adult
toe.
cartoons are available. Yes, it is a
It's a
zombie.
without a toe, which he almost eats.
Oh, gross. To be fair, I thought that bit was pretty disgusting. Like, I don't like the sound of people eating, and that's all you can
Gross.
hear. And I was like, ugh, this is gross. But it wasn't like, I suppose that's the point. It's meant to be disgusting.
Yeah.
It was pretty disgusting, and I quite liked the way that the zombie woman looked.
I think it might have been quite like that one, especially. It might have been quite practical,
It looked like a puppet. It was
Yeah.
moving like a puppet, so I don't know whether it was or not.
or a very skinny lady in a costume.
All that. It would be interesting to find out, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it looked quite cool. The bit where he's under the bed and the door opens.
And then presumably the woman just like I don't know teleports underneath the bed next to
Oh,
him.
of course, yeah. You know, horror trope teleportation. And
Tell you what,
everyone can do
that
it.
bit did make the man who was sent like
Yeah.
jump out of his skin.
Lots of people jump. Like, I noticed he jumped quite a lot, actually.
He did. I don't think he was a horror movie veteran like we are.
No, I don't. To be fair, I don't think there's a lot of people who kind of. Well, I suppose there are, but
What, horror fans?
no, like people who kind of. I don't know, enjoy it, but not like because of the scares.
Oh, okay.
Like I feel like a lot of people watch horror movies and still get scared. Like Fuzi, she watches horror movies and she still jumps.
Yeah, like Annabelle Comes Home
But
when,
she
when
likes
she
it.
said that was quite scary, and I was just there like, nope, not scary at all.
Yeah,
Great movie though.
sure.
Probably better than this one.
Yeah, it was better than this one. Scarier.
I still
for
like this
sure.
one though. Just gonna put it in.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any more thoughts on Where's My Toe Zombie?
No.
Cool.
Yeah, that was my least favorite.
Cool.
I don't.
We're
really...
running out of time, so I'm gonna.
Oh, it's fine. We can just keep going. It's fine.
Up next is Spider Face.
Which was in the trailer, so we'd seen it already. I really wanted to squeeze that zit. Oh my god! I was just like, oh, just squeeze it! It's like Dr. Pimple Popper. Other pimple popping people, I'm sure, are available on YouTube. Yeah, I was just like, I just want oh my god, squeeze it, and oh, it'd be so good, so satisfying.
I did
squeeze
love
it.
it when that one spider leg.
And then she like touches it, and I was like, pull it! Oh my god, pull it out!
I wanted her
Squeeze
to
it!
pull it,
Pull
and,
it!
like the whole spider
I,
come out.
I don't know, just do something. Don't just touch it. Like, come on. Please, squeeze it. Please. Let me squeeze it for you.
I think I liked the red spot more in theory than I did in practice.
Yeah, I mean, and we knew what was coming because it's in the trailer as
Yeah,
well.
I wish it hadn't been in the trailer.
It was quite spoilt from that.
I kind of wish there'd just been one spider, to be honest. Like rather than like it bursting out, then all of a sudden there's like thousands.
I don't understand how she was meant to like die from that.
Well, she doesn't. She's like not even close.
I know, but
I think if they
'cause
don't get
they-
to her in time, then the spiders will kill her.
Oh, okay.
Because I think when like after they got all the spiders off of her, I think I looked and like I think she had like little bite marks.
Oh, okay, yeah,
On,
no,
like,
she
her
did,
neck?
yeah.
So I think the idea was that the spiders would have
Would have just
overwhelmed her and she would have
kept-
just fetal position
I
until
don't
she
know.
died.
Fetal position.
There's only like a very small hint of as well, like when she's there, it's like you can see that there's like something going on, like there's like a hole or something
Hole
in
in her face, yeah, which is later then stitched up.
And I kind of wanted to see more of that because I was kind of
Yeah,
well,
because
you know.
when you next see her, she's obviously being taken into the ambulance and it's all covered over and stuff.
Yeah, and I was kind of I kind of wanted to see the hole in the face, like you know, like she's like the teeth through the
Oh, yeah.
I like that. You know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
that I kind of was like, oh, okay. Like it, I was like, oh, squeeze that. That's gonna be really cool. And then she doesn't squeeze it, and they just kind of burst out. And
Yeah.
hmm.
Also, she's not really a character in the movie,
No,
so I was
she's.
kind of like, oh, I don't really care. If
It's
you
like the same
die.
as the guy right at the beginning, Tommy or whatever his name
Yeah,
is.
Tommy.
And I was just like, I can't wait for you to die, because you're an asshole.
Yeah, whereas with like the Oggy one, at least I was like
Oh, I
emotionally
was-
invested.
yeah,
I
I
was
was
kind of
really
like,
emotionally invested
maybe
in
he'll
that.
get out of this. No.
Yeah, I thought they were going to make it in time to him, but they don't. They make it in time to the girl instead. Oh.
Alright, next up, let's talk about what is, in my opinion, just the weirdest thing I've seen
This was actually one of my
in
favorites.
quite some time. It's the Red Room.
Yeah, this was one of my favorites. I mean, when he's like, oh, the red room and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, right, I see where we're going. And then they're like, oh yeah, the records are in the record room, which is the red
The
room.
Red Room, yeah, I thought that was clever.
I was like, oh, cool. And then he's like, I don't want to go. And I was like, oh, you're an idiot. Go, because you're with people and you're safe. And then he's like, no, I'm going to go somewhere else. And I was like, why? Why not just stay either where you
he
were
literally
or go
wanders
outside?
off to the roof.
He wanders off. And I was like, this is a bad idea. Like, really bad idea. And then, yeah, the what effectively becomes the red room because the emergency lights.
There's a bit where like the guys are chasing him and they're like, sound the alarm, and I was like, oh, cute. So the alarm's going to go off and like everywhere's going to be red.
Yeah. And, yeah. And the creepy, blobby thing.
How do we even begin to describe it?
I felt like it was very anime.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I write that down because I felt like it was like, you know, when you watch sometimes like anime movies or animes in general, like horror animes especially, they kind of like have a lot of like big blobular people who then like either eat you or absorb you, and it's like a creepy thing. I think it must be something to do with their I don't know, like the demons that they have in their culture.
I'll tell you what, when you said about the anime thing, it reminded me immediately of all the times that they do a little girl, pale white face, black hair,
Yeah.
but then when you see her face, the eyes are too far apart.
Well, yeah, they were. At one point, I was like, "Huh, she's a little bit like an axolotl." Like this really wide, flat face with wide apart eyes.
So like I was like, yeah, that element of like the anime, like the little girls with the eyes and the hair, and I was like, they've put this into this monstrous plasticky like she's made out of clay.
I loved it. I thought it was
thought it
really
was-
creepy, and the slow walk, and then everywhere he turns, she's just there. Oh, yeah, that was. I really like
And
that
then
scene.
she
I really
hugs him
enjoyed
and, like,
it. She hugs him,
absorbs
just
him.
absorbs him.
And I was like, damn, that's weird.
It's just like that's so creepy.
Do you know what I do like?
What?
2 movies in a row now. DoesTheDogDie.com. No.
Oh, no, they don't. So glad that dog
'Cause
survived.
Next up, we have the Jangly Man.
Again, this I think where it ramped up at the end and it became more like here's a creepy monster. I actually preferred that because I really liked the jangly man or whatever he's
Like
called.
the big CGI.
I was
monster
still
man.
trying to figure out what he was saying, but whatever.
Walker. This is the only bit that I got. It was a series of
whatever. Doti tie me or something. I don't know.
Walker.
Uh,
She would say that, then
yeah.
you'd be like, coward!
Yeah, it's again, you know, horror tropes. The Thing,
Oh, the way he would walk and
where
stuff,
he
yeah.
would walk. Yeah.
Yeah, he walks like the Thing, or like The Exorcist when she goes up the stairs.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see that. Yeah. No, I really enjoyed that. I like the fact that the police chief shoots it and
Like the
nothing
The
happens.
head comes down first.
Yeah.
And it's like, rah, rah, rah. He's
He
just like,
just shoots
what
it.
the hell just starts shooting?
Um,
That'll solve my problem.
I thought it was weird that he got killed. Because I was under the
Yes.
impression that in the stories it was only the
People who'd been in the house.
well, only the people who was written into the story, yeah, who had been in the house
Yeah.
that could be killed.
I thought that was weird as well. I didn't quite get that.
So I was like, oh, okay.
In my opinion, that was a little bit like law breaking, because that's kind of like.
Yeah, it
so
felt a
what,
bit
these
law
monsters-
breaky.
What stops
What
these
stops
monsters
them just
then?
from going around and
Will
murdering
they just
everyone?
kill everyone on this path to kill the one person they want?
Yeah, it's.
I was like, makes my brain come.
Yeah, I was a bit like. But no, I did really enjoy that monster as well.
I
And
loved his disassembling and reassembling.
CGI madness.
It was, yeah.
I wasn't.
None of that was practical.
No. I wasn't very impressed with the jump scare where he gets crushed against the truck, the lorry,
Yeah.
and then he like disassembles, and then you're like, oh, he's gonna reappear in front of the screen, and then he does that, and it's like as though he's like 3D or whatever, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. I didn't quite appreciate. I didn't really find any of the jump scares at all to be effective, especially that one, because I was like, well, I know what's about to happen.
Yeah,
very
it's kind of the
predictable.
thing with me where I find it frustrating because I know it's coming, but it doesn't get me, but it still makes me like, oh, there it is. Like I'm like, oh, just waiting for it, like, oh, for God's sake, and then it happens. It makes me tense.
I liked the. I don't know if it counts or not, but the final set piece where
In the
Stella
house.
finds herself in like the past.
Yeah.
And then they think that she's like.
I think I actually wrote that down in
Sarah.
my notes that I really enjoyed like the ending in terms of the final kind of set piece in the house.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, and the crossovers between them as well. I thought that was really nice.
Yeah, I thought it was quite like a scary idea. The idea that she's fully aware of the tortures that happened to this lady, like this young woman, and then she's like, oh no, now this is gonna happen to me
Now I'm
because they think that she's
stuck.
me.
Yeah. And the little bit with Lulu as well as a little girl. That was kind of cute.
Yeah, I thought that was nice.
I don't really have much to say about the ending, to be fair. I just enjoyed it for what it was.
That's all the set pieces. We did it! Hooray!
Yeah, and then I thought the actual ending of the movie as a whole was a bit disappointing.
In what way? What would you have wanted?
Well, just the idea like, oh, yep, that happened, and now we're gonna find them.
I
Yay!
do not know what they're expecting to find.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
I was
where
kind of
they're
like,
going to look.
"Wh-
Also,
what?"
the dude goes to Vietnam at the end. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that as well. I was like, wait, no, that's why?
What? We're rooting for this guy to not go to Vietnam.
Yeah.
There's even like a little radio host who's all like, that you hear intermittently, who's all like, no, bad, down with the wall.
Yeah, exactly. And then he goes, and I was like, okay. So I thought that was a bit random, but I don't know. I don't really know what they were going for at the end.
Yeah, I was a bit tonally confused.
Yeah, there was a bit of a tonal shift there, wasn't
It's
there?
his character development. He's like, no, I need to do my duty to my country. I was gonna be like, no, dude, don't.
No.
Don't go to war just because they're telling you to.
That's silly. You're gonna die.
Don't listen to the government. Oh.
So, I would probably give it a rewatchability of about 2.5. I would watch it for the set pieces, but
Because it's based on a book series, if they made
Ooh.
another one featuring different story adaptations, would you go see that?
maybe. I didn't realise it was based on a book series. I'd rather just read the books, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think they made a TV series, like a kids' TV series, roughly the same time as Goosebumps.
It seems very Goosebumps-esque.
Yes,
Yeah,
very
I think it would be better as a book or a TV series. Just as a movie, it's Final Destination-y.
I think in America it was PG-13 as well, whereas over here it was a 15.
Yeah, I found that weird. Because it didn't feel like a 15.
Like it would have been a very soft 15. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's no swearing, there's no nudity,
No.
there's no real gore. Just
No, there isn't
sustained
really.
scary
Sustained.
images.
That's literally what it said.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you were gonna have something useful on you, like the dude who knows everything and has everything, Ramon, what would you have? What would you want to use against these creepy things?
Multi-tool.
I would probably have
I've got a bottle opener. I've got a corkscrew.
a bag of cable ties.
Oh, cable ties are so useful.
Yeah.
You could definitely defeated.
You could cable tie the jingly jangly
Jangly man.
man. You could cable tie each of his limbs to a different place
You could cable tie.
so that he can get together.
Wait a minute. If you give the toe back to the "Where's my toe" zombie,
Cable
she-
tie it on.
did she
See,
let you
cable
go?
tie is totally useful. Yeah. What would you pick?
Yeah, that's close enough. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Cool. Okay. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And hit the little bell to get notified. I was waiting for you to
I know.
jump in, like you usually do. Very like loudly yell it.
I was just gonna leave it to you this time.
Oh, cheers. Now there's an awkward pause. I'm not gonna edit out.
Yep. And see you all next time.
Go see Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Meh.
Go see it anyway.